Good morning and welcome to Gulfstream today. Brian Natto, and we welcome back Samantha Perry as well on just an absolutely picture-perfect Sunday afternoon here in Hollandale Beach. The heat has returned. Steamy Sunday fun day here at Gulfstream Park. You can see the fast main track. You can see the firm turf course at Tapeta as well. And you can see Samantha Perry to my left. Welcome back.
Whoa, we're back. Yeah, the championship meet is amazing, but sometimes it just will really pound your body down a little bit. But we're back in action today. I'm not going to let Strep interrupt this Sunday fun day.
And we've got a good card too, some good turf racing a little bit later on. The finale today is phenomenal. Yeah. It's the brother race of the optional claimer we ran on the turf yesterday. Of course, the Rainbow Six as well. We're up to $250,000. Look at the carryover. Healthy over 100 grand. 250 is in the estimated jackpot. Of course, Ron Nicoletti will have that ticket out a little bit later on. But the early pick 5 is going to kick things off here on this 10-pack for Sunday. Already $35,000 and counting. The pools are very, very large yesterday. I've got a tight ticket. A couple scratches played into this as well. To be perfectly honest with you, I could have played this ticket for a lot lower than that. There's some very short numbers in this sequence. Race number 2 is actually my best bet. That's another reason why it's so light, because I've got Bunratty Manor as my best bet in race number 2. Race number 3, the 7, Tricky Tiger, is going to be a huge favorite off the claim for D'Angelo. 2 deep in race 4. The 4 is on top, and that is Shebway, who's going to be a very short price with Focusin scratching out. And in race number 5, I will go to the 8, Woods Point, a little bit of a fresh new face in that spot. That's just $9, and like I said, you could punch the A's in that for a lot less. But we'll start it out here in race number 1. We're going to go a mile and a 16th on the Tapeta. These are fillies and mares, 4-year-olds and up, which have never won 3. The tag here is 17.5. Scratch the rail. The 1 reassess is out, and Samantha and I are on the same pick. Yeah. A horse that is supposed to be pretty heavy in here, and that's a 6, Burnaway. The Tapeta run 2 back would just bury this field.
Yeah, and Miss Tart beat Boys the other day this week.
Good
so I just feel like she's the one. This is a perfect post position too. It's very early in the betting board, but she's going to be bet like this the whole time, I think.
I would think so. 9-5 on the morning line. There's a scratch. And, oh, by the way, the rider, Paco Lopez, had 5 yesterday. Yeah. He won 5 of our 11 races. Paco doing his thing. Going to be a short number in the opener. Puckard was good last time. I really don't know why. It might have been the level. I don't know. It was on the dirt, though, Samantha.
Yeah, it was. But the Tapeta races have been okay. Yeah. And I think whenever you win just any race on any surface by 9 lengths, that this is a horse worth watching.
Yeah, without a doubt. Now, the wild card is Gulfaxi, because we got to the Carlos David barn last night and just aired in a 2L on the main track. She's never tried Tapeta, though, before.
Kind of interesting, right? She's shown some kind of slowish 2-turn speed in the past, but you would think from the rail with the weight off with Melvis Gonzalez aboard that she'll make a dent. Well, you're kind of forced to now, I think, with the rail draw.
I picked her last time, and I picked her because I thought she was loose and controlling in there. I got to give credit. Came right up the fence from off the pace, and she was good. So we'll see what we get here on the Tapeta. We'll go to the early pick 4 in race number 2. This is a good one, fun one here. We'll go a mile on the turf in a maiden special weight. 4 3-year-old fillies. Now the rails are out at 17 feet today, and only scratches are the AEs. 13, 14, and 15 are out of this spot. I'll take care of the early pick 4 a little bit later on. We'll start with you and your top pick, and where are we going in race 2?
Chelsea's Choice.
The suspense is killing me.
Yeah, I went with Chelsea's Choice.
Yep. This is the 5, Chelsea's Choice on the comeback for Bill Mott. Lasix going on today.
That race, Good Long Cry, just completely aired. You couldn't even show this replay because Good Long Cry was just so far in front. You want to be able to see Chelsea's Choice for about 0.2 seconds. So I think that now that we're in a spot where I'm not going to say it's an easier spot by any means, because Good Long Cry came back in a stakes race and just was so-so. But you get Lasix on for the first time for the Belmont barn. Things are really clicking along for the Belmont barn. And Junior Alvarado, hats off to him. He's doing fantastic. He always does, but just this weekend and last weekend as well. So we'll see. Lasix on's huge.
Yeah, Lasix is big. The only question is the layoff, but it's really not that big of a deal. Mid-November, and here we are now ready to roll. I mentioned best bet for me is Bunratty Manor. I think for a couple different reasons. Might catch some horses at the right time, like your horse. Got some first-time starters as well. And who's running with her early? I don't see anybody.
Yeah,
She's been chasing.
Gotta have speed.
Yeah,
Yep.
she's been chased. She chased Salacious Splits, 5 furlongs on the turf. Now she stretches out. Not necessarily, no nay never on the top. That's a little iffy. Galileo on the bottom, though.
Yeah, yep, exactly. Yeah, that's the thing. The no nay nevers, I kind of prefer them sprinting.
Yeah, no,
but I agree that with the Galileo on the bottom side. So
let's take a look at a stat too for Rusty Arnold.
Yeah.
Luis Saez in the irons here today, and Ronnie pulled this up. Not bad, 12% sprint to route, not terrible either, kind of right in the middle, and this is the last 5 years. Big, healthy ROI as well,
Yeah.
and this is a very, very wide open betting race. Let's talk the first stirred for Brendan Walsh. Oak Alley is the 11, way out wide, but you were able to get a piece of work here that we can see.
Yep, this was on the 26th, so the most recent breeze coming into this race. I like to see that, working with a horse named Hullabaloo, who has had a start, but she's on the inside here, and she just does things very, very professionally. You look at her work tab. She's been nice and steady since December 30th here. She reaches, she tries. I just think that everything she does is very professional. Now, Brendan, first time out, has actually started to do a bit better.
Yeah,
but she had stuff left in the tank here. I like this breeze today. And to be honest, with the rail setting at 17 feet, the 11 post does not bother me at all.
It's not as bad as it would be. It's still not good, though. You're way out there still. What about the 8 Double Jeopardy, the Pletcher Firster, the Homebred? Big pedigree here. The dam won the Grade 1 Rodeo Drive at our sister track.
Yeah, she did, but it's a homebred and debuting on I don't know, debuting on the grass first time 2 turns. That's tough, but hey, these Pletcher and Irad horses, they work out trips and get them done on the grass.
No doubt. Watch the tote on the 8, watch the tote on the 11. They usually tell you which way to go for sure. Race number 3, maiden 12-5 on the Tapeta at 5 furlongs. There are 3-year-olds and up, and as we've kind of mentioned to everybody, the only 3-year-old scratched the 6, but now am found. But just want to mention, as we're integrating the 3-year-olds in now, it's still a pretty stiff disadvantage. It's a 12-5 maiden claimer here. You're going to start with the 4, and that is Insanity, it seems.
Well, the race back first off the claim was a little bit slower than when this horse was with trainer Wesley Ward, but a barn that's been doing very well lately, been jumping in for horses, claiming them, and doing a good job with them here. I think that this is just one that, at the end of the day, he's a 12-5 claimer, but against this group, he looks pretty good here, where they're kind of all close.
No Tricky Tiger anywhere?
He's at the end,
this horse could be 2-5 today if they bet him. He's off the claim for D'Angelo. Huge trainer switch here. Irad's aboard. The post is perfect. I thought he was better than these anyway.
You know what? I have a 4-7-1-3. I must have just missed fat fingers
he's
that one.
He's one of the ones on this card that are a very short price. Paco's going to try to get Bernardo's Legacy home at 0 for 27. We'll see. He's got speed,
getting
though.
up there. I was thinking as I was doing this race, Jerry's turn was what, 0 for 28 maybe. Thank you guys for fixing that. So this one, I don't know how today's going to be the day. Paco can't pick him up and carry him across the finish line.
He got speed. I'll give him that, though. And cut him loose to 5 is in the mix as well. We'll sneak that ever-popular middle pick 4 in race number 4 before we get to the break. 6 furlongs on a fast main track. These are 3-year-olds and up, which have never won 2 races. Your tag is 35. Big scratch here of the 5, and that is Focus, and Safi scratches that one out. Sheboy is going to be a huge favorite. Let's just take a quick look at my middle pick 4, and I'll thank Ben and the guys upstairs for popping this together for me. I'll go 2 deep in here. No single. I could have easily singled Sheboy to start this sequence. I don't necessarily trust him.
No.
85 in is the order. 851, I should say. Woods Point, I already mentioned in race number 6. I've got the 6 on top. That's Gatsby. I do scratch into him with the 1 out. And in race number 7, this was my long shot. It was Ron's long shot. There are 4 scratches in this race. And that is out the window with the 9 Cognoscenti, but $27. Middle, ever popular middle pick 4. Let's get back into the opening leg now. It's a compact field, but a good one on the main track. You've played Sheboy more than a few times. He's this is his group today, right?
Absolutely. And I like getting back to the dirt,
Yeah, I
too.
do too.
Yeah, he's just one that is so much better on the dirt, so much faster on the dirt. And now we're back here at 35 to the 25 to the 35 level. It's all the same. Honestly.
I agree with that, and with the 5 out, he could be anywhere from 2 to 5 in here. You look at his dirt races in September and November; they were against just eons better.
Way better.
And you don't even have to worry about, claimed him for a quarter. As Samantha said, we bumped to 35, so that's confident too. As well. Devo Doro underneath. Kent keeps on keeping on. The Sweezy barn has been very, very hot.
Yeah, this horse just gave it away a little bit late last time. So now we're cutting back. Theoretically, this looks like a big player here.
Yeah, a lot of speed to the inside with Top Maverick second off the layoff. Even Danzig Chips now. Fresh speed potentially off a long, long layoff.
And first-time
gelding, too.
Important.
Haven't seen him since December of 2023.
Yeah.
The 6 is painfully slow, but it's Carlos David now adding Lasix and Paco off a layoff. Let's take a look at his stat. This is the 3-year-old now facing a pretty seasoned group of older guys here.
Yeah, this is a tough horse to make here. This is Tapeta to dirt, though, 46% in the money. And when you add Lasix for the first time, it should move you up.
Yeah, a very, very spotty work tab, but we've seen from this barn in the past that
it doesn't matter.
No, they're getting activity somewhere. 2 published works since this horse last race, not to mention 1 since October 13th. So that's just kind of
where have you been?
Real head scratcher, to be sure. 4 down, 6 to go. We'll take a break on this Sunday card. When we come back, it's Rainbow 6 time. Ronnie's got that ticket. There's $250,000 in the estimated jackpot. Stay tuned.
And they're off.
New DRF All Access Past Performances. With one best-in-class product, you now get all 3 past performance formats. Easily switch between views. Access the most trusted information in horse racing with DRF All Access Past Performances. Go to DRF.com and use coupon code 1FREEPP for a free single card today.
Welcome back to Gulfstream today. Brian and Samantha with you. 10-race Sunday card here on a fast and firm day here at Gulfstream Park. Beautiful day as well. The Rainbow 6 is up to $250,000 in the estimated jackpot. I would think we'll comfortably pass that. It kicks off with a good one in race number 5. Let's take a look at Ronnie's ticket here. He'll be out here. He hit it last Sunday on mandatory day, ripping the Band-Aid off right quick with White Whale. Wow.
I like it. That's awesome. I have him in second, so... race 6, he's got the logical ones. I don't have Roar ready, though. That's the number 2. That's a fun race. Race number 7, hit with the scratch bug, 1 mile and 3/8 on the grass course there. Cognoscetti, that was both of us. Both of you. Long shot, not so much anymore. I'm glad I got the replay of that. Race 8, the 3, Reina Bouchera was my long shot last time and almost got it at 33 to 1. I'm glad he's got her in the mix. Race 9, this is a fun race. We have Prater, who beat Sovereignty in a maiden special weight event, and in the finale, a really, really competitive one, as Brian alluded to. Big players. He's got Versus in the mix, Barricade, as well as Tiz Dashing.
Prater could well be 1 to 5 in that race. He's an exciting prospect for Chad Brown. A little late to the party as a 3-year-old, but we'll see what we get today off the break. Let's kick it off, though, in a good one. And
the Tropical Turf victory
as well.
Can't
forget that. That was a good one yesterday as well.
Yeah, here we go. This race we'll get into in a moment. Race 7 with the scratches. First off, I don't have a strong opinion a lot of times in these 1 mile and 3/8 races. I feel like it's kind of impossible to, but the 6 is who I went with on top because the horse has a little bit of speed. And in race number 10, this is my best bet, the 11 Tiz Dashing for Barkley.
I picked him in the stakes last time.
Yeah, I remember that. He was nowhere near fit.
Nope, and Jack Knowlton told me as much yesterday.
Yep.
And
There we go, down the road. I don't like blinkers on, but that's okay.
All right. LASIK's on too, though.
That's good.
All right, let's get going now in race number 5. This is a fun one. Again, maiden special weight here for the 3-year-olds and up. 5 furlongs on a firm and fast turf course. The rails at 17 feet. Scratch the 2, came in a little late if you're not in the loop. St. Allen.
Okay.
Yep, St. Allen is out, and we'll start with you. They're going to have to catch Senior Marcello, who really woke up second time on the turf last time.
Yeah, well, we'll watch the replay.
Yep.
The first time he tried the turf, he was just blowing the turn. It wasn't in a rank way, but it was just a steady blowout. Now, unfortunately, last time out he drew the outside again, but he didn't do it. He behaved. He ran really well. It's funny, Ron and I talked about this race before, and we said we don't want Lamcaro. That's the only horse exiting the race that we didn't want him, and look, he just came on by. Senior Marcello kind of chickened out, I felt like, at the end a little bit.
Well, you kind of said what I was thinking watching this replay and remembering that race. That's not going to be the best race.
No, not at all.
So.
Not when Lamcaro's winning it.
No, exactly. And that's one of the reasons why I went elsewhere. Woods Point is an interesting, fresh new face. Now, Manny Real has had a quietly very good championship meet with a limited amount of starters. A former Godolphin homebred. Obviously, something went awry. They were willing to sell this horse off. Mike Stidham had him up at Turfway on the Tapeta. Was a good third on debut. Where you been? It's been a while now. This is a barn, and he's worked pretty well for this. This is a barn that's sharp, I think.
Yes, and you mentioned the breezes. Since getting this horse from the digital sale, the Fasig Tipton digital sale, look at the works on the page. They're just on the page, but they just kind of jump out at you that this horse has got some speed.
Yeah, he's 9-2 here. I think he's supposed to be bet.
Yeah.
What do you do with the 1 Sen Cash, who's poorly drawn, hasn't been out since late June, and Cherie DeVoe's not running a bunch of horses here. None of them have really been live or done.
No.
They're like legged up here, I feel like.
Yeah, I get the same kind of feeling you do. 0 for 6, and they're not even hitting the board. They look good, but it's just like they need a race. And this is a very, very snappy 5 furlongs. Look, the horse ran well on debut, so maybe just that alone will kind of keep this horse in the mix.
Yeah, I think at the end of the day that he'll be the best horse in here. I just don't know if on March 9th he's going to be the best horse in here. Versatile, too, turf and dirt.
Well, White Whale, really quick.
Oh, yeah, White Whale. We got a stat for White Whale as well, right? No, White Whale. Talk about him. Ronnie's pick, and you've got him in second.
Yeah, I do. Ron must have he did his homework because the dam was really fast on the turf sprinting. If you're a thoroughgraph person, she ran 1s, which is very, very good. On the turf, maybe this horse just needed the grass the whole time.
Yeah, it's possible. 4 starts, looks like he worked pretty well in there. Maybe they bet him a little bit. Not a crazy good pedigree. They're going to see River Thames, who was so good running second in the Fountain of Youth. He was well beaten, but he was in third that race. So food for thought to kick off the rainbow, to be sure. Kicking off the late pick 5 in race number 6. We'll go 7 furlongs on a fast main track. These are 4-year-olds and up. The tag here is 50. Big scratch, at least for me. Old Chestnut, the 1.
Yep, that was my top pick.
Yeah, I kind of figured you might land on that horse, too. He is out for Drexler. We'll go to battle with a field of 6, and we'll take a look now at the late 5 for Samantha.
I've got my 2 anchors at the end here, as I feel like probably a lot of people, well, at least in race 9. Race 7, I do have the 6 on top, Pacific Front. Race 8, I have the 3, Reina Buchero. I'm back on her again today, but I felt like it was a competitive race, and I had some room, so I added a couple more horses. Race 9, Prater, obviously, and then in the finale, as I mentioned, Tis Dashing on top for me.
Well, I'll tell you what, nobody's singling in the finale. That's impossible. You could go 5 or 6 deep there, so you get a big edge by just choosing 1 in there, because you could easily have played 5 or 6. We'll get to it. Looking forward to it. We'll start it off again, 7 furlongs on a fast main track. I scratched into a horse that I did not want to pick, or I would never bet, but that's why I want to start with you, though. Cadet Corps off the claim now for Breen, and Paco is here, one of his, his main guy, really.
Yeah.
Kelly's solid enough, 15% off the claim. This is a horse that's been routing on the turf and routing on the dirt.
Yeah, you look back at the dirt races and the dirt figures, and they're really, really good.
They are.
Really good. So if he can get back to that, and I quite honestly, I like the little bit of a cutback now to the 7 furlongs. He's not going to see another turn in front of him. Watch out. I think this is a crafty barn off the claim.
I worried if he's off form, though, because
That's
he's
true.
been just terrible in his last 2 starts, and he's run well on turf. Unfortunately, with the 1 out, too, he's going to get hit pretty hard. And then again, Paco winning 5. Everybody knows that as well. Gatsby, I scratch into him. This is his group. Let's show you his last race. He's supposed to be a short favorite in here, and deservedly so.
Yeah, he is. This race was, Damon's Mound on the comeback for Bill Mott. First time Bill Mott was really good. Comedy Town ran well. This is a tough race.
Well,
this was
these 3 horses would be 1 to 9.
Exactly. So now, I think what you said it perfectly. This is Gatsby's group here, and we'll see him. He's finishing up this. This is his group now.
Yeah, and Gatsby's a 7-year-old gelding. They're not giving him away for 40. You get a win and they claim, so be it. He's a heavy hitter in here. Pure Class got to get Lasix back. He's a little slow, I think, but he did win a good, and he's out of 2 stakes. He won a pretty good optional claimer.
Yes, that's
3
fair.
back.
Yeah.
I think he's got to improve a little bit though. Thought's got Irad for Powder Pop off of an easy jog for 12.5. They're bumping him all the way up for 40. That's interesting.
I know, he won like a good thing. I've always been so against him, but he was impressive last time.
And Smooth Flying Mike was good last time. A very fast race behind the Drexler horse.
Yeah, very fast. And don't sleep on the Jane Sibeli barn. This horse got legged up a couple races. The Air Combat race was a good one.
Really fast race, to be sure. Late pick 4 kicks off in race number 7. We're at a mile and 3/8 and a maiden special weight. These are 3-year-olds and up. Rails at 17 feet. I'm long shot in here. We'll talk about it in a second. Race number 8. I've got the 3 on top. Rihanna Bouchero. And race number 9. I just don't see any scenario where Prater doesn't come back with an easy win today at about 1 to 5. And then I'll throw the blanket on the finale. It's an awesome finale. It could be a listed stakes race. I am with Samantha with Tiz Dashing. I don't have this strong opinion though on that one. Let's go with 2250 in the late 4 and kick it back off in race number 7 here. You are on the 6, and that is Pacific Front, who is the best horse in here. There's 6 horses in this race for 3-year-olds and up. 4 of them are fillies, and she's one of them.
She is one of them, and she's got some speed.
Yeah.
And when you have jockey Luis Saez aboard, you're going to get some of that out of her today. Jorge Ruiz is a very patient rider. He makes those 1 runs, and he's very good for that. But as far as this situation today, I think that jockey Luis Saez is a perfect fit in this scenario with the marathon distance.
Yeah, let me read the scratches. Apologies.
Yeah.
The 3, Love You, Miss You, Mean It is out. The 4, Samud is out. The 7, Human Desire is out. And the big one, the 10, El Zane is out. Ronnie and I have the same long shot, and we were darn supposed to get 8 to 1. That's out the window now. Cognoscenti, I'm going to show you the debut. This was for 35, and the horse was 34 to 1. I'm not saying they're not trying to put anything over. I saw the breeder afterwards, and I said, you were pretty happy you didn't get claimed, right? And he said, yes, we were. And now all of a sudden, you're not in for a maiden special weight anymore. I think this horse is sneaky today. And let's be perfectly honest, Samantha, this is not that salty of a group either.
Not at all. And everything about this horse kind of just screams that he's going to continue to like more ground. And don't read into that Tapeta race. It's not always that they handle the turf, they handle the Tapeta. He ran fine and he beat half the field, but still, that was a really, really good race, even given that.
That Tucson Tapeta race might go down as one of the 5 or 6 fastest Tapeta races we've ever run here.
Like a mega key race.
On figures, too, and I don't believe in them, but I'm just saying, on figures.
That's so true.
It was wildly fast. Chad Brown's got the 1 competitive threat, one of the 4 fillies in here. Irad's aboard, will save all the ground. She's slow.
She is. We'll look at a stat, too, for the Brown barn that Ron found here. And Tapeta to turf routes, 22%. This is just kind of his thing.
Yeah, I mean, that's what the barn's going to do. I think she's getting legged up here, a little bit of a freshening.
Yes.
Last ran on turf at Monmouth and the Meadowlands, and the fact that in and of itself she was there says that's not the 18 by any stretch. But, of course, you get Irad as well. Padiddle's interesting right now with the scratches.
Oh, yeah.
He's a heavy hitter in here. Off the claim for Abreu, back on the turf.
Yeah, the only turf race was a mile and a half at Kentucky Downs. And the horse, that was his best race, I think, on the page. Now it's Kentucky Downs. I don't trust that track at all, but hey, he ran okay on it.
The only thing I'm going to say is, for my money, Brian Lynch is as sharp as anyone there is. He was willing to. You can take this horse for a quarter, and he ran by far his worst race ever.
That's
for a quarter.
fair.
So I feel like Brian might have got out in time. We'll see, though.
Yeah.
Sharp barn off the Claimer Bray. Race number 8, late pick 3 now. We're going to go 5.5 on the Tapeta. It's a tough one, a 25 starter allowance, fillies and mares, 4-year-olds and up here. And, well, I was not on the party last time. The daughter of Bouchero, Ana Bouchero, she did everything but win at 33-1. We'll show it to you because now showing Reina Bouchero and Baby Blocks are all back today.
Yeah, Baby Blocks, let's just start this off by that's not where you want to
No.
be as Baby Blocks there. Reina Bouchero, this was the first time that this 5-year-old mare had ever been on the Tapeta track. Look, she got tired here. She was in her left lead late. She wasn't really striding out. Amori Control, what was that, the 6th win in a row?
Yeah, finishing first 6 times
yes,
in a row. Yep.
That was such a game race, and honestly, out of that race, I feel like we can just take another step forward here.
Yeah, and she didn't want it. She dug back in
She
late
did,
there.
yeah.
You could see it.
Yeah.
These Boucheros, when they get to the Tapeta, they move way up. I can't believe this horse was 33-1 last time. Oh, man, that was a tough beat there. I think she's in a good spot, and I believe in the race. I know you do as well. There is a lot of speed in here. Royally Blue, I think she's the gal to beat on the drop because she was pretty good for a quarter 2 back. She's 3 for 5 on the Tapeta.
Yeah, she loves this surface a lot. Good post position, maybe just a bit tactically drawn better than Reina Bouchero here.
St. Olaf Road was really good off a long layoff, claimed away from Safi and Ken Ramsey last time.
Yeah, I think it's interesting that Tyler lands here.
Yeah, it's she won by 9, didn't beat anything, but certainly did it the right way.
Yep.
And you knew she was going to be claimed, and she was. Frank Regalabuto is going to saddle her today, trying the Tapeta. Race number 9 is a fun one. I don't know if we can get back to the Curlin Florida Derby after this, but somebody in there might throw their hat in the ring. It's a 3-year-old optional claimer at a 1-turn mile on a fast main track. We'll just bring up Prater, who's, like I said, is he's 4 to 5 on your morning line. It wouldn't shock me if he's 1 to 5 in here. Who's he beating, by the way? Your Fountain Youth winner, Sovereignty.
How about that? Sovereignty came back and won the Street Sense. That was it, Street Sense at Churchill. Yep, and then came back and won here, of course, last weekend. Prater is a cool horse. He's just a big, solid son of Into Mischief. Now, maybe if I'm going to pick some holes in him, he's a big horse.
Yeah.
And is he 100% today? He might not be. Now, that could be his downfall. There was a breeze on him, but it was early. I believe it was the January or February 2nd, maybe January 27th. It was a 3/8 work, but it was with Chancellor McPatrick.
Right.
And he
second in the Tampa Bay Derby yesterday.
Yes, yeah. So that's good. He's been keeping good company up there, but we'll get a good look at him in the paddock and see fitness level. But maybe if he's even 80%, he could win this.
I was going to say 13%, but somewhere around there. He's going to drown this field today. He gets Lasix. He also hasn't missed a beat since, January in the morning, too.
Yes.
You know? So clearly, as Samantha's kind of hinting at, and I agree with, it's a starting off point. This is a graded stakes horse, but he looks to be way too much for this group today. And that's kind of your point here by picking Possum in second, right?
Yeah, so, okay, this was originally going to be my long shot.
Wow.
But I couldn't. The more I looked at it, I couldn't. But a big, strong son of Kintharos, and now we'll get back to the dirt. The race on the Tapeta 2 starts back. He was boring out on the stretch, but he ran huge doing so. Look, he's a complete stab underneath. I don't know.
Well, listen, what I'm going to respond to that is the 1, 2, and 3, who are the logical exacta partners, they're not much, to be perfectly honest with you. We've got a stat on Bear Claw Necklace, who we haven't seen since he broke his maiden on December 1st, a $19,000 son of Lord Nelson that Safi's done some good work with. 33% maiden win dirt last sprout in a sprint to route. He won at 7. He was all out. He does get Lasix. They're putting blinkers on last time. He was a big fade for me last time. I mean, I was wrong.
He was for me, too. And honestly, Share the Loot lost. He didn't win.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more there. And Dale Roman's white hot at the meet. He's got the 1 CK Wonder, the 3 Kinetic Control. They both have good races in them. They both had Lasix.
Yep, they both do, which theoretically you would think moves them up.
Yeah, I'm excited to see Prater come back today.
Too.
What a finale we have for you as well. As I mentioned, it's the brother race, that optional claimer for the fillies we ran yesterday. We'll go at a mile and a 16th for the 3-year-olds. The rails are out at 17 feet here in the finale. There are 4 stakes horses coming in, some of them off layoffs, some of them coming in off just the stakes races. You're going to start with Tiz Dashing. We'll show it to you, my top pick as well. And as you alluded to, wasn't really all that ready to roll last time.
No, not at all. And Concord Green's in the mix here. But I wanted to show this race. This was the Aqueduct race, though, because I thought it was good to, show Concord Green running on, but Tiz Dashing had a lot of gameness. When Valuation Metric came up to this horse, he found another gear there, which I thought was very impressive. And what I think now in showing that is we'll get that version of him, not the Gulfstream version we saw last time, which, in fact, the Kitten's Joy was just a leg up spot.
Yeah, I mean, he was a morning line favorite in the Kitten's Joy.
And they bet him, too.
Yeah, and I talked to Jack Knowlton yesterday. He said it was a little short that day. Well, we get blinkers. You said, but the Lasix is going on today. And I think that's a very, very big deal. Ready for Peace now ran huge last time behind Forge Steel, as did Versus. They both come out of that race where they were 3-2 in that race.
Yeah, I thought that was a good race. Forge Steel didn't run all that well last week, but maybe he's just not a stakes horse, or without Lasix. There could be a couple things there. But Versus scratched out of stakes yesterday at Tampa to run here, and I think that this was a much better spot. But Ready for Peace, I think, is very likely to move up.
Your morning line favorites is 7 Barricade, and that's a large part because it's Pletcher, it's Irad, and it's Rapoli stable. He's got a lot of talent, but I think off a September 14th layoff, he better have his running shoes on today.
Absolutely, I agree. And he defeated Valuation Metric, who defeated Tiz Dashing, which is interesting. But the Rapoli stables and Irad and Pletcher, you can't ask for a better trio.
Nope, not at all. Walking from Memphis is a stakes dropper with speed. This is a very, very fun race. Versus, who's finished just ahead of Ready for Peace, is going the right way for Kelly Breen, and he's in good form. Concord Green on the comeback, as we talked about. Fun finale to get you out of here on this 10-pack. And we'll take a look back yesterday on what was a really strong 11-race card. And, of course, the highlight was the Grade 3 Hurricane Birdie. And Nick Style, the 2 Safi horses, I'm sure you saw it. I don't know what was going on there. Chasing a fire, going 44 flat.
That was, I had.
Our Disaster ran huge.
I picked her, too. That was a really tough beat for me. I thought I was home at this point. Spirit Wind broke like a rocket, and she does her thing, but Our Disaster just kind of chased on a suicide mission almost, it seemed like. But I don't want to take anything away from Nick Style because, but it did play completely into her hands.
Yeah, to her credit, she got completely blitzed and run off her feet, but she wants to beat you, as she showed there. She's now 7 for 8 lifetime for the Hall of Famer Bill Mott. I saw a tweet from Ralph Nix, his former assistant, and Ralph had her to start his career, and Ralph's retired now doing his thing, but he was pretty happy as well, so that was pretty cool. She is a very, very talented filly. We talked to Women's Summit. You can talk more about that now that you're here in person.
Yeah, well, you did a fantastic job with the promo video, but kicking off the Florida Derby week the Friday before, we're going to have a little seminar, a handicapping seminar. We'll feature myself, Claudia, who does Hippica, Sherry Holmes Sterling, who is just a tour de force here around Gulfstream Park, will be honored, and a very fun day just to kick off the Florida Derby weekend. You don't have to be a woman to come, but it's just kind of highlighting just some women in the industry, and I think it's a great way to just kind of get your foot in the door. If you're going to be around, definitely come out and join us. It'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah, without a doubt. And a little earlier that week is the annual golf tournament, right?
Yeah, for charity. It's always a very big fun day out, just kicking off the festivities with the championship meet and the Florida Derby, just kind of having it all come to an end, and it's a lot of fun. It's a very fun day.
Without a doubt, the Coast to Coast is back today. That'll be a little later on between Gulfstream in Santa Anita. You see 2 here, 3 there, about a 2.5.
Yeah, it starts in the Prater race here for us.
2.5 hour window. Computers are out, retail only, $1, 15% takeout. Best bet for you today?
It is Tiz Dashing.
Oh, I like that. All the way in the finale. And what a good best bet to have in that kind of race. My best bet is what? I can't even think of it. Oh, that's right. Bunratty Manor. Should be a decent little price as well. My long shot, probably not with the scratched out turf race, Cognoscetti. But how about you?
No, none.
No? Okay. Out for you as well. Good to have you back. Ron's in the waiting room. Pete's upstairs with your scratches and changes. Good to have you here on a Sunday at Gulfstream Park.